All right, let's continue refining our character and by adding some cuts to the head area here. We're going to use the quick slice tool again. So let's select the polygons and the head so that we can have an accurate cut or accurate cuts. So let's grab that quick slice tool and we'll make I think we'll make about 5 cuts on the head here. And of course we're using the quick slice tool as we did before because we want to create cuts all the way around the object. Nice linear cuts. For some of the other refining work that we're going to be doing on the character, we're going to be using the cut tool, which we'll start working with pretty quick here. One more. There we go. Okay, good. All right. So now, the next thing you want to do is let's take a look at this in the perspective view for a second here. And so you can see those cuts went all the way around, all the way through in a horizontal pattern. So let's think about what we need to do here with cutting and some vertical cuts for the face, so to speak. Now, for this particular type of cut, we're going to need to use the cut tool, which is a little different than the quick slice. You literally control every single place you want to cut with the cut tool, and that's the reason why we're doing it this way. We're going to have a lot more control over this, and you can see that the way that it works very simply is that you left click to make a cut from one either vertex or edge, and we want to go all the way down from the head, and we're going to go all the way down the arm. And the reason for this is, once again, we need more edges so that we can work with some detail on our character and shape it out properly. Yeah, let's get that zoomed in a little bit better there. Ooh, there we go. Sorry. All right. And so this, sometimes it can be a little bit challenging when we get in here in the sleeve area, so we'll see how that goes. But what I'm doing is I'm making cuts. You don't want to abruptly end cuts anywhere. One of the things I want to point out, if I can make this cut here, this is going to be where it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. It usually is when you go inside of something that's extruded inward. It's just difficult. The angles are funny. Yeah, that's good. Got that one. Keep going here. From that, I want you to notice the cursor changing as we're going from where there is a actual vertex on the where we just made a cut to an edge. See the cursor change? That's letting you know you're on an edge. Another edge. Right there, okay, so it has a different look. Now that's on a vertex where we started because we actually made a cut there. You can't see the vertex, but it's there. And once again to that edge, and we're going to go all the way around to the other side of the arm, so we got to rotate around there. And it's a lot easier to rotate when you have a sub-object selected. If you're going to rotate, oops, I got to get out of that cut tool first. There we go. And let's grab the move tool here and select the vertex. You notice that we're rotating around that vertex now. It makes it a lot easier to control your rotation. So otherwise it's trying to rotate around the world axis, and that's can be a little awkward. Okay, get the cut tool again and start from there. Notice the cursor when it was on the vertex there. Okay. And I'm in vertex mode. Before I was in polygon mode. It doesn't really matter. You can use the cut tool in any of the sub-objects. Okay, so we're going to get out of there for a second here. Right-clicking, just as with the quick slice tool, will get you out of the cut tool. So that's what I was just doing there. Just got to get this rotated here right. This can be a little difficult here. Let's see if this is going to work okay. See what we can do here. Get our cut tool and go from that vertex. And what we're trying to do is go from that vertex to the vertex on that. Oh, we got it. Good. Okay. Good. So we're starting off in pretty good shape here. You just want to rotate around, make sure it looks right. Sometimes you can miss. And what the cut tool tries to do for you, by the way, is it wants to snap to a logical area when you're using it. It thinks maybe a vertex is where you want to go, so it's sort of trying to think ahead. I'm not too crazy about that because it can be a little bit challenging because of that. So let's go ahead and start on this other side of the arm here. Right up the middle. And I know I mentioned this already, but the purpose of doing, I just want to select a vertex here so I can rotate a little easier. There we go. The purpose of cutting like this is to add enough edges and vertices to be able to shape our character out right. So we're just having to add a little bit more detail. Remember, we started with a very simple box that gave us some segments that turned into, of course, edges when we turned it into an editable poly. But now we want to, I'm going to have to rotate this back a little bit. You know, I think I'm going to put this aside for a second, this little spot, and let's work on this other area here. Sometimes you just have to leave it alone and come back to it. So I'm going to continue with this. Let me see, hang on a sec here. Get this rotated around. All right. So I'm going to continue this part going up. See if I can have better luck with this for the time being, so I'm not wasting time. We'll go back over in just a minute to the other section that we were just working on. Let's get this angle just right. Once again, it's all about those angles, man. If those angles aren't quite right, when you're trying to make these cuts, it's just a little bit of a challenge. Just a little bit of a challenge. There we go. Yep. Yeah, another little challenging area here. It's just those sharp turns. There we go. That's better. All right, now we're on our way. So once again, I want to point out the cursor. You can tell when you're on a vertex and when you're on an edge. It looks like that when you're on an edge. Looks like that when you're on a vertex. And if you ever want to make a cut right in the middle of a polygon, the cursor looks like that. There we go. So let's keep on going. Now here we go again. We're going to go underneath the shirt here. We're going to probably end up with you know, a little bit of a challenge again, but we'll see what we can do here. There we go. Got that little bit done there, but then see the little it snapped to that vertex there. Didn't want that, so I'm going to have to try to keep it from doing that. That's better. Okay, see it's trying to snap again. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay, good. I got it. Okay, then just keep going. I just double check it here to make sure it looks all right. And I'm just kind of getting this angle until we get out from under the shirt. Now we can rotate it back around this way. Okay. And we're going to go all the way around. That's one of the things that I want to stress again. As we make these cuts, we don't want to abruptly end like right there. That ends up with a 5-sided polygon. Really, really bad. Never, ever any more than 4-sided polygons. In fact, 4 is what we're really aiming for almost all the time. 3-sided polygons are acceptable in places where it's unavoidable. But we always want to try to create 4-sided polygons. And so that's one of the reasons why we're going all the way around the leg, all the way under the foot and around the leg, is because we can't just simply abruptly stop at an edge and go, okay, that's fine, because it's not fine. We have to go all the way up. So there we go, and that just stopped right at the place where we extruded our leg out. Okay, got that. Let's see what we can do about that that problem we had just a minute ago. Take a look at our work here so far. Not too bad. We're going to even these polygons out later. The edges, I mean, you know, kind of spread the edges out so they're more even. I think I'm going to pick this up here first. because that's the place where we started going around the other side of the arm. We want to continue. Like I said, you don't want to just abruptly stop there. Plus, we need the detail, so we're going to need those edges to help shape the arm out and the sleeve and so forth. And, here we go. We're going to go under the sleeve again. So let's see if we have a little bit better luck than we were having before. Get the angle just right, and maybe we'll have some pretty good luck. Let's get it. Yeah, good. All right, good deal. Let's rotate around so we can get on that other part. Oh, thought I had it. Try that again. Now we're talking. Okay, good. And let's go back from there to the edge on the inside of the sleeve there. Yeah, I think I need to select another vertex so it's easier to rotate in that area. Yeah, that's a better angle, I think. So let's try this. Cut to that edge there. Sometimes it's easier to cut from the far edge to where we left off. But let's try to give this one more try. And these inside of the sleeves areas are, kind of a pain sometimes. But it is what it is. Gotta make it work. I'm going to try from the edge to the vertex. See what I'm talking about? That worked. Sometimes you get a better, just a better selection, I guess, by going that direction instead. So now we're going to go up the sleeve and then follow this flow of edges. And that's one of the things I'm going to be talking about much more later on. But we want to create a flow of edges, a logical flow of edges over the body. And so once again, coming from the opposite edge work better. Anyway, and again, and I'll just do that one more time. That seems to be working better right now. But what I'm doing is I'm going to go up the sleeve here and then across the chest. So you have this natural flow of edges. And that's going to help our animation, especially the animation, but also our just the structure of our character. And when the mesh smooth is on, it'll subdivide better and so forth. Now, we're coming back to the problem that we had a little bit ago here. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if I can do what I was doing before. And it just doesn't want to do that. You know what? I'm going to start at the very opposite end of where we're going to end up and work our way backwards here. I think this will be better. So we start at the, at the middle of the back here, and we're going to go back down the sleeve, sort of like we did in the front, only we're going the opposite direction. So here we go. Start there. Just going to make it more flat, and it's a little easier to get these cuts going. Go here and then back, and then down the sleeve. On the back side of the arm, back side of the sleeve. Right about there. And then let's see if we have luck, if I just go all the way to there and see what happened on the inside here. Nope, that's not going to work. Going to have to rotate around inside there. Let's see if we have some luck coming from this direction though, because we were having no luck going the other way. Okay, got that little cut. Got that little cut. Okay, now let's see what we can do here. If I can get this one going from here. To up inside the sleeve. Yep, looks like we did. Now we should be able to go from vertex to vertex a little easier. Got it. See, sometimes you leave it alone, you have a better idea of how to work on things. Okay, so that's a pretty good start here to some refining of our character. Let's take a look at how it looks overall. See how some of the edges are kind of close together. We're going to even those out a little bit later on when we start really working our character. Just turn mesh smooth on, symmetry and mesh smooth, and see how it's rounding off. Now we're going to notice how very boxy it still is well, it started off as a box, and we haven't done anything about that yet. So, I mean, not really. We haven't rounded it off. So we're going to do that coming up pretty soon. So, yeah, I think we have a good start here. And for starting with the next video, we will work on more cutting of the edges on the head and straighten out, get some of those flows of edges worked out.